Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Tapchi with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Did you
How we
see
doing?
Kevin bleeping Durant last night? Once again, ho-hum. He shows you once more he's the best player on the planet.
The Hawks were celebrating. They just the baseball team just won the World Series. They got in late.
Really?
Yeah, they were celebrating with Brady Freeman and Alvin.
Well, you can't even argue about KD anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did Giannis retire?
Oh, wait a minute. What about the king of L.A.? What about that guy? He should retire.
There you go. I'm glad you finally gave him the proper title. King of L.A.
Quote, unquote.
Boy, this should be an interesting show. All right, we'll get to a lot of that. But this news broke really late for us yesterday during the show, so we do need to explain the latest in Green Bay because they will look to start Jordan Love this weekend as Aaron Rodgers will reportedly be unavailable because of a positive COVID test. This, of course, raised a lot of eyebrows because back in August, Rodgers seemed to imply that he was vaccinated, which would carry a different timetable to return. So take a listen to what Rodgers said during the preseason.
Are you vaccinated, and what's your stance on vaccinations?
Yeah, I've been immunized. There's a lot of conversation around it, around the league, and a lot of guys who have made statements and I've made statements. Owners who made statements. There's guys on the team that haven't been vaccinated. I think it's a personal decision. I'm not going to judge those guys. There's guys who have been vaccinated that have contracted COVID. So it's an interesting issue that I think we're going to see played out the entire season.
Okay, Shannon, do you have a problem with the way Aaron handled
Hell yes. You don't even let you finish. Yes, I got a problem. He talking about there are guys on the team that's unvaccinated. You're one of them. Skip.
Didn't that come across like he was trying to shift it all onto them? They're unvaccinated.
Exactly.
But not me. Don't look at me.
Skip, here's the thing, and I've heard a lot of conversation. They said Aaron Rodgers was disingenuous. Aaron Rodgers was loose with the truth. He misspoke the truth. Alternatives, this and that. Aaron Rodgers lied. He said he was immunized. The CDC defines immunization as having the vaccine introduced into your body to treat a specific disease. So he said he was immunized, saying that he was vaccinated. That's what immunization means. Come to find out, he's trying to get an alternative.
Yep.
Hold on. It's not Pfizer. It's not Moderna. It's not Johnson & Johnson. The NFL clearly lays it out. You need both of those. You need one of those, but you need one by a certain time. And you need a negative test, none of which he's done. Now, second of all, they said that if you're not unvaccinated, there are certain procedures that you got to follow. The gathering, you can't be no more than 3 at a particular time. You need to be masked throughout the building. Skip, you think they've been following this? And the biggest problem I got is this man out there dressed like John Wick, knowing he's unvaccinated. Now I see why a lot of...
At a Halloween party.
At a Halloween party. Now, I don't know if it was all his teammates or with some people from, some fans, some other people that came introduced.
Yep.
But Aaron Rodgers lied. This is what we know, Skip, and I wrote this down and I capitalized it. He's arrogant. I capital every word. However you spell arrogant is capital. Selfish, flippant. He's all those things. Aaron Rodgers always thinks he's the smartest guy in the room.
He does.
That's it. And so he's trying to, there's a lot of talk about it. NFL ain't been talking about it. The NFL said these are the protocols. They've amended them somewhat, Skip, because obviously during the preseason you got 80, 90 guys.
Yep.
And a lot of the guys, so they said, okay, they relaxed. Man, I can't even believe Aaron Rodgers did this, Skip. I have lost so much respect. The thing that I admire most about Kyrie, I don't agree with Kyrie, but I respect his decision. Kyrie ain't try to circumvent anything. He didn't try to go get no fake vaccination card. He didn't try to say I'm seeking alternative this, alternative that. Kyrie Irving says, at this present time, I do not feel comfortable putting this in my body. While you might not agree with him, you must respect that decision. He didn't lie. He didn't try to get around it and try to fly it away and then try to make it look like, there are a lot of guys that's unvaccinated and I don't judge them. You're not going to judge yourself. Skip, is like taking a test and the teacher said, well, I'm going to let you today, Mr. Sharp, you're going to grade your own test. I'm not giving myself no F. I don't care if I miss every answer. I'm going to give myself a passing grade. And what he tried to do, Skip, there are a lot of guys that's unvaccinated and I'm not going to judge them. You one of them. You think you slick, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And he didn't ever think it was going to come out, Skip, because he thought that, you know, as long as I don't get COVID, now everything, now NFL, what are you going to do? Because, Skip, here's the thing. This man could have blew up the entire, not only is he not going to play it, but he could have had it where his whole team, and now you got a forfeit, and nobody gets paid. Something Kansas City had nothing to do with. If this game can't be played, now the Kansas City players can't get paid. All because of Aaron Rodgers' selfishness. All because he's arrogant and think he's the smartest guy that he was going to get an alternative. And the Packers talking about, well, you knew it, but that's not how you treated it. Because you're supposed to do, Skip, you're not supposed to do in-person video if you're unvaccinated. They're supposed to be Zoom. Aaron Rodgers showing up, cavalier with his head around, you know, talking all slow and smug as he is.
Well, obviously, if he continued to wear a mask on the in-person interviews within their facility, it would send a signal to the media. Why is he wearing a mask?
Exactly. So he knew that he was unvaccinated, and to carry the lie that he told, he couldn't wear the mask. He had to come unmasked because otherwise people are like, well, hold on. If you're masked, why are you? Now, some people, Skip, now I'm a guy, I still wear my mask. I'm vaccinated. Skip, if I go to an event, I went to an event, I got tested before I went to the event, and 3 days later, I got swabbed again at my own dime. Because not only am I protecting myself, Skip, I want to protect everybody else too.
Absolutely.
But this joker, Skip, that is a lie. That's not being disingenuous, Skip. That is a bold-faced lie, and he told it.
First of all, I would like to thank you and compliment you because you are a big fan of Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback on the football field. And yet, when this happened, you threw all that out the window and you said, that's enough. He lied.
He lied.
You are calling him on his lie.
Yes.
I have never been a big Aaron Rodgers fan, as you know. I believe even on the field, he is a blame-deflecting, finger-pointing diva.
Yes.
Who has now fallen to 1-4 in NFC Championship games, and I still feel like, in general, the media gives him more passes than he throws on the football field. They like him. He's got swagger. He's cool. He's got style. He's John Wick for Halloween. I love that part of it. But I despised what just happened, because this was all-time fraudulent on his part. The last we saw of him at Arizona, he's crowing after the game about he's found his bliss with this team, and this team is so together, and he loves being part of this brotherhood in the locker room. And you just sold them all right down the river of fraudulence. You are a fraud of a leader. And, you know, we've got a Carson Wentz, we've got a Kirk Cousins, we have a Cole Beasley who just said, I'm not getting the vaccine, but at least they owned it.
Right.
I don't know exactly why they didn't, but they just owned it. They just publicly said, I'm not doing it.
And they've never tried to deceive the public or to thinking that they had received it.
And to Carson Wentz's credit, at least every time I see him on the sideline or after the game shaking hands, he puts his mask on because he is not vaccinated.
Correct.
So this is the all-time deception because he very cleverly and craftily sidestepped the issue by saying, I'm immunized, to your point. And I bought it, the media bought it, because it was still kind of early in this process, and nobody thought twice to ask, well, wait a second, does that mean that...
Because here's the thing, Skip. Because people thought, because Aaron, you know, Aaron went to Cal. So Aaron is so smart. So instead of saying vaccination, he used the term immunized. That's Aaron being Aaron, Skip, because you know he think he's the smartest guy in the room now. So he's going to use a term that doctors would use. Yes, he's immunized.
Well, I like the word you used. Slick. He thought he was slicker than all the rest of us.
Yes.
And according to the reports, he did try to pursue an alternative method. It's homeopathic, it's holistic, it's herbal. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was an alternative vaccination method. I hope
they slammed the door in his face when he came to present that argument.
Okay, well, it went to a third party, an arbiter who was an infectious disease consultant between the NFLPA and the NFL. And they took it to, quote unquote, their court of arbitration, and he lost. And they told him before the season started, will not qualify
Right.
as vaccinated.
You're unvaccinated.
Yes, we are stamping you as unvaccinated going into the season.
Right.
Well, that means some heavy protocol should be in place behind closed doors in the Packer facility. I'm going to be very curious because then the NFL says, we need your tapes, your internal system tapes, right? Well, do they give them up? I don't know. Do you hand them all over?
That's how the Broncos got in trouble.
They did.
Because they weren't supposed to be congregated, and they were. And when they had them tapes and they saw that they had all these guys, so you say, you know what? Go get your quarterback from FedEx and let him start for you on Sunday.